So while we're making progress, while I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm building qualities, characteristics, traits, etc., doing new things, going to new phases of life, etc., making that progress. When I don't do something right, it doesn't mean that I failed.
I'm just realizing, like you said, slow down and run my own race. It's so peaceful too, because it's not on us, and then you can enjoy everybody else's race. Like you can see them and be like we talked about, you mourn when somebody else is mourn, or you're happy when somebody, like you can enjoy that process with everybody else because they're gonna enjoy it with you too. So
So if you stop looking at everybody else and understand, like, well, I'm a leader too, just like they're a leader. You're just leading in the space that you need to be leading in, and they're leading in the space that they need to be leading. They need to be leading in. Like that's how God made the body of Christ. Like He made us so that everybody has a part. And if we just get our eyes off of, like, man, I'm not doing that though. I'm not doing that. It's like, no, it's okay that you're not doing that because they need to do that.
and to kind of get like the big kicker for this episode, if you could go back and have a conversation with yourself and truly just like be like, tell yourself to do certain things or realize something, what would it be?
If I could go back to younger self, what would I say? What I would say was the famous statement from a superhero movie. I think it's Spider Man with was it with power or something about responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, because because man, I talk to my wife about this all the time about like when I was a kid. I would my parents, obviously would go out and do stuff, and I would see big like corporate buildings. I would see like Sky was infatuated with tall buildings. I don't know why, and I would always say like, I want like my office to be at the top of that building. And if somebody asked me, like my parents, like my dad would be like, "Well, what are you gonna be doing in that office?" My answer literally would be being in charge.
That's all I tell you is
Being in charge, right? Like I can't tell you in charge of what. Just being in charge. Like I was so as a kid, and I think it kind of touched on like inwardly, like my feeling, my me feeling like I needed to be in control. Like I always felt like I wanted to be in control, and I don't necessarily know if that was because I felt like life was out of control, or if I didn't. I can kind of connect with both of these, feeling like life's out of control, and also feeling like I didn't like the way someone else was controlling it, so I wanted to control it myself, right? Um, but I did not realize what that actually like entailed. Like I didn't know and was not interested in building and developing qualities and characteristics that would lead to effective leadership. Like I didn't care about that part. I just cared about being in charge and being someone some people listen to, someone. So what I would tell my childhood self is I would tell my childhood self not to be so obsessed with the idea of being in control. I would actually encourage my younger childhood self to enjoy the privileges that come with following, learn how to follow so that you can figure out how and what true leadership looks like. Because if you spend all of your time trying to do the leading, I don't necessarily know if that builds proper leadership. I think proper leadership comes from experiencing what it means to follow and what it looks like to follow. So to double on that, my part two is to tell midway younger self, like to adulthood, to like slow down and not be so ready. Like stop being so quick. So like it went from this hunger and this desire from wanting to be in control to wanting the final result already. Like I wanted it all immediately, and I was not willing or patient to wait for anything. So I would tell midway, younger self, enjoy the process of building, because with any good, you know, building comes the blueprint, it comes the steps for how it was constructed, the materials, the meticulous details of every individual's part, whether it's the plumbing, the electrical work, the physical like construction. Like, enjoy the process of building, so you can look back on your building, what you've built, and be like not just satisfied in it, but like sure about it. Does that make sense? Like, being confident in what was built. I feel like when you're out of that process, something will be built, but you're not sure about it. You're not confident in it because you don't know what was put into it. In fact, you didn't really care. You just wanted it. You just wanted it up.
Yeah.
Whereas the person who like invested their time and their energy picking out certain materials and studying how they would, stand against, the weather and time, and like they know, right? Like, they go in that house and they sleep at night. They know that roof is gonna let. I mean, it's so that is what I would say to the two version. I kind of split myself into two because I kind of went two different directions. Started one way, and then changed directions. So those would be my two answers.
That's good. For me, it would definitely be listen. And why I say that is because when I was younger, I knew everything. And whenever somebody would tell me something, I'm not listening to you. I don't you don't know what I'm going through. So right. You're just telling me something that you've been through. I don't care what you've been through. Right? Yeah, it's just empty words to me. And now that I'm older and I look back, like, man, all that stuff was very valuable, bro. Valuable. If I would have listened when I was that age to a lot of the wisdom that I heard, man, I would have been a lot further along than instead of having to experience it myself. Like, they went through the experience, so I didn't have to go through the experience. But since I didn't listen, I had to go through the experience, And so, like, that's something that, man, if listen, because this right here is very valuable. That I learned back then, I'm using now, and so, like, that's to me is very important. Like, and that's how God, like, if you even read the Bible, like, that's why God said what He said about, these people are examples for you, like, so you don't got to go through it. Like, I'm giving you my word now, so you don't got to go through it. You know what I mean? The pit holes, like, just hear the word, be present, and don't try to force something to happen. Like, be in the word, like, be present, hear the word, and then just do it, and then you'll be a lot further, in life than you would if you don't listen.
So I'm gonna say mine, and then I have a question for Spencer because he had something that he said he would have told himself that I kind of have a really good question because when people have that statement, I wonder what my question is gonna be. But kind of like Spencer did, it would be two parts. One would be get the hate out of my heart because of my early on adolescent childhood. I didn't understand why my biological father wasn't there. And then I grew kind of anger and stuff like that towards my mother because it was like she wouldn't really talk about it with me. So she obviously did something wrong. So then, like, I just had a callus of hate. And that turned into me kind of turning into the person that I hated. And I hated myself for it. So I didn't really, as a child, I enjoyed life, but I don't think I got to enjoy it the way I really should have because it was so fixated on being such a better person than somebody else that I wasn't realizing that I just need to be the best version of who God wanted me to be. Yep. So get the hate out of my heart. And then as I've gotten old, like, not so much now, but like from teenage to like kind of when we first started working at the church and stuff like that, like Spencer said, slow down, but I'm going to add on to run my own race, not comparing myself to everybody else. Like,
that's good.
Everybody, I remember when Spencer got married, everybody was like, bro, you next. Like when you going to get married? And then, but I was at the place where it's like, bro, like, let's celebrate my brother. Like, what he got going on don't equate to me. Like, I know I want to be married, that's the desire in my heart, but I'm not ready to just run into something and then 10 years later I'm getting divorced because I just wanted to get married because my brother was married and then we can have double dates and all this different, like, bro, like, I'm gonna just chill. But I was at a place before where it was like, I remember when I first, and Spencer don't even know this, when we first worked at the church before I left that after that year, I was so like not hating on him because I was happy for him, but it was just like, dag, bro, like I want to work in the school. It seems fun, but I'm working as a facilities person. I feel like I'm like the bottom of the bottom. Like I'm comparing, and it's like I didn't appreciate and see the value in what I was doing. So because I wasn't running my own race, I wasn't able to see and witness the value in what God had for me. Yep. I'm so focused on what other plans God has for that person. I can't focus on me. So it ruined and took time away where I could have probably stayed at the church. And thank God I'm back at the church now, and I'm in a role that I really do enjoy, and I'm in a role that is very much where I like, and I'm blessed in my role. But I don't think I would have had to go through certain things if I wasn't so fixated on what somebody else was doing.
That's good, bro.
Because I took myself off track, focusing on somebody else's track. So then it took my life and went off I was so far off track, I wasn't even on the track. Like I was off the rails, like going through it, and it was just like, bro, if I could just go back, don't be hateful, don't be spiteful, and then slow down. I don't have even now, bro, at 25, I don't have to I could be 60 years old and I'm not gonna have the answers for everything. But the most important thing is that I'm relying on God to get me through whatever that challenge at 60 is. Obviously, I'm not gonna have the same challenges that I had at 25 that I have at 60, but bro, life is gonna have its challenges. It's not gonna be crystal clear, but the thing is that we have Christ. Yeah. We have the Holy Spirit, so the weight on our shoulders is no longer on us, but God can stomach it. He can pick it up with his pinky and be good. So I'm just realizing, like you said, slow down and run my own race. It's so peaceful too.
That's good, bro. Because
it's not on us, and then you can enjoy everybody else's race. Like you can see them and be like we talked about, you mourn when somebody else is mourn, or you're happy when somebody you can enjoy that process with everybody else because they're gonna enjoy it with you too. So, that's that. And then Spencer, you had said the control thing. So, was it a tough transition from you wanting to always have that control of something to where now you give that solely to God? Like, was that a hard thing? Like, because one, as a man, but then also being a human, we have tendencies of, if we can't really decide or have a say in what's going on, I don't really know if I really want to do it because I don't have a control on it, or I don't really have a decision on how it's going to come out.
Yeah, like, I think that's a good question because it can be hard. I mean, with certain aspects of life, it can be hard. And again, just speaking from like my own personal like experience, I kind of grew up, you know, in a space and environment that like not prioritize control, but just really like emphasize this idea of handling stuff. So tire blows, you gotta fix it. You know, you get kicked out your house, you gotta fix it. You know, you got bills to pay, you need to fix it. Like the Lord was present, but like there was just this undertone of I need to fix it. And if I can be even more transparent, I think that the reason that was because there was not enough attention placed on why the thing was broken to begin with. So if like you sit back and you evaluate, okay, I'm fixing this thing. There was also a question that should have been asked is why it was broken, right? But nobody really cared about why it was broken because then if I address why it's broken, then that may mean I have to address something that may be wrong with me and the choice that I made. That part is not hard for me because I'm okay with identifying where I need help. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with acknowledging the fact that I'm not doing something right. I think the hard part is not labeling myself as failed because I didn't do it right the first time. And part of that is because, again, it's track record of seeing people do wrong stuff over and over again and not changing anything kind of created in myself this idea that failure was, if it's not right, then it equals failure. But I have to remind myself that the reason that was a failure that I witnessed was because there was no change present. There was no even attempt to change anything. And so the thing that I think I do have a difficult time with, again, just being honest, is not being anxious in the process of releasing my control of something. So to me, at times, practical things, money, planning, etc., there's comfort that comes with control, right? When things seem managed, I'm comfortable. Yeah. When it seems unmanageable, I'm uncomfortable. Yeah. So, that's the part I think is kind of like not getting worked up and anxious when things are getting ready to be handled, just not by me, but by the Lord. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I hope. Okay. Yeah. So, just kind of being at ease and knowing, okay, the creator of heaven and earth has my situation in his hands and he's going to take care of it. And just because it's not in my hands doesn't mean it's not being taken care of. So I think that, I don't know if that answers the question, but
yeah. I want to speak to what you said, because I think a lot of the church deals in, like, not even just the church, people, period, deal with the watching everybody else doing what they're doing. Like, you have, understanding that, and, Spencer, you kind of touched on it about, if I'm not leading this thing, then I don't know if I want to be a part of it. And I think that's the issue of people in itself, like in a nutshell, because God has made us all leaders. And so it's like, we're not leading that, then I don't want to be a part of it, or why they're doing that kind of thing. And so really, I think people have to understand that God has made all of us as individuals, and to be able to celebrate what somebody is doing without trying to measure yourself by what they're doing.
Yep.
If you're able to do that, then you're able to go far in who God is in you and stay in your lane, and you're able to reach who God has you to reach. And so if the church says, you know what, like, I'm not trying to worry about, I don't have, if you're a person, right, and you're looking at what everybody else is doing, if you have that much time to look at what somebody else is doing, that means you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? Because if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you don't have time.
You're not worried about
what everybody else is doing, right?
Facts.
So it's good to be a follower if you want to be a leader, because when you understand that, you're always going to be following somebody, because somebody is in another aspect that you're not in. And you're always going to be a leader because you're leading in the aspect that somebody needs you to be leading in.
Yeah.
So if you stop looking at everybody else and understand, like, well, I'm a leader too. Just like they're a leader. You're just leading in the space that you need to be leading in. And they're leading in the space that they need to be leading. Right. They need to be leading in. Like, that's how God made the body of Christ. Like, he made us so that everybody has a part. And if we just, get our eyes off of, like, man, I'm not doing that though. But I'm not doing that. It's like, no, it's okay that you're not doing that, because they need to do that. Right. You need to do you could be efficient, very efficient, if you realize that you are placed here for a specific reason, for a specific purpose, to get a specific purpose accomplished in the body of Christ. Like, we'll be going so much further, instead of everybody having an opinion on what everybody else is doing. Like, no, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Like, they could be wrong and they could be right, but who cares? What's that to you? Like that, like Jesus said to Peter, you follow me. And so we just follow Christ. Like, man, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I don't, what you doing? Like, I'm praying for you. Like, you know what I mean? I'm lifting you up. Like, I'm there for you. If you need to lean on me, if I need to lean on you. But as far as roles, like, everybody has a role. Like, so why would you worry about what somebody else's role is? Like, you just get your role accomplished, man. And God, because you're going to be judged for what you did, like, not what your opinion of what somebody else is doing. You know what I mean? So there's really no profit in that anyway.
Good. So plus the word says, like, the foot can't tell the arm can't tell the leg,
that I don't need.
The ears can't say to the nose. Like, understand that just as much as that person is doing and is needed, what God has for you is important and is needed as well. Like, not everybody is supposed to speak and talk in front of thousands of people in a pulpit. But that same person might not be able to go and walk the streets and evangelize in the city. Like that. Like, that's just not. It's not for everybody, and it's okay because, like, I'm not trying to be funny. If everybody was in the pulpit, who would be in the streets? Like for real, like, or like even like, or who, like, not trying to be funny. When I was talking about like the facilities thing, if somebody, I had to think in a sense like, bro, Jesus sat there and cleaned the disciples' feet. He said, in order to be the first, you had to be the last. In order to be the last, you had to be the first. Like, it's just certain things, and it's like, bro, like, we have to stop giving giving positions these hierarchy things, and it's not, bro. At the end of the day, like I remember we talked about, and I love Pastor Randy, I love Philip Anthony, like I love all of them. I love Benny, like all of them, Kenneth Hagin, but who are they? They're just they're the same as us, but they're just used by God in a certain way, right? So their obedience to God and what they're doing is just as equal as my obedience to God and what I'm doing. Good. As long as we're still focused on the main thing being what? Fishermen of men. Right. That's all that matters. Okay, they're in front of people. Cool. I don't have to be. Right. And that's something that like I had to learn was like, it's not always about being seen. It's not. Like, bro, if everybody had to be seen, it would be so whack. Like, if everybody had the same job, it wouldn't be an importance anymore. Right. It wouldn't be a flow. Yeah. And the thing is, too, is like, not everybody receives the same way. So not everybody has to give the same or pour out the same way, because if everybody poured out the same way and people receive differently, then some people are not going to receive. Yeah. And there's nowhere in the world that God has told us to do, has given people to receive differently, but have the same pouring into. Mm-hmm. That don't equate. So just something I just. Let's go, bro. Yeah. Let's go, bro. So, another question, like kind of another heavy hitter. And we talked, like I said, we talked about where we were, kind of where we are. And I want to not talk about where we're going, but right now, what do you feel like God is working in on you? Like, if, like, for instance, for me, is right now I am being more open to people. I'm being more open to have conversations and let people know about my testimony. I'm more open to like our podcast and kind of getting out of my comfort zone. And then also just being diligent at everything that I'm doing. Yeah. Like being more, I want to not perfect, but I want to perfect. Like I know it's not going to be perfect. I know everything's not going to be, because I'm just human, but I am taking every little detail so seriously. Whereas I used to be like, bro, if it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. I'm not as nonchalant as I normally am. And I think that's because God is showing me every little thing matters. Yeah. How I walk, how I talk, how I smile at people, not being as mean or standoffish. I'm being very more open and smiling and with everybody, even if you annoy me, because good gracious, people, I don't know. It's got to be the devil, because lately, like, youngins have been, woo. But yeah, like, what is he working on y'all with right now? If y'all can share, I don't know if you can. I don't know if the Lord is giving you that leeway to do that.
Yeah, man. I think that's a good question, and I've got a couple, but I'm gonna phrase it as those one, which is remaining consistent yet progressive. Okay, because what we don't want is consistency to plateau, and then we transition from consistency to complacency, right? So we want to remain consistent in making progress, but we don't want to look at ourselves and the imperfections that are present as failures. So while we're making progress, while I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm building qualities, characteristics, traits, etc., doing new things, going to new phases of life, etc., making that progress. When I don't do something right, it doesn't mean that I failed. And the last thing is that imperfection. I wouldn't say like this is like God's working on me about this, but He's just really been ministering to me about this, which is imperfection does not mean no like a lack of pursuit. So just because I didn't do it right doesn't mean I stopped trying or I stopped going after it. And I want to go ahead and make it broad, right? And say in those moments that we feel like we didn't do the Christian thing right that day doesn't mean you stop pursuing after Christ.
That's good.
You know, just because you didn't hit the nail on the head with your, you know, your spouse that day doesn't mean you stop being a husband or you stop being a wife. Like you still pursue because you want to make progress. Our pursuit is not after perfection, it's after Him.
Yeah.
Right? And He is the one that is perfect. So we take our eyes off of being perfect ourselves and focus on the one who is perfect. That is what is really the thing that my heart has been most sensitive to as of late. And I know that, you know, in that, right, I can find myself and identify where I am in that. But that's just really, like, God's just really been blowing it. In fact, I'll share this. I had a moment where, you know, I really saw clearly. It was just like this. It was just like this note. It was just this notebook. Like I can see it. Like there's this notebook. In the notebook, it was all these pages. But the first page of the notebook said, you know, don't stop pursuing. Right? Like you don't stop. So I mean, you think about how many places that's applicable. Like for the student, they don't stop studying, you know, just because they failed one test. Right? For the, you know, the father, they don't stop loving their children just because they, you know, might have upset them that one time, or maybe they got upset themselves, right? I mean, it's applicable in every like sphere. Like you don't let up on the pursuit, especially when you know what you're pursuing after is the best thing.
Yeah.
Like when you know that thing is like the total most important, valuable thing to you, you just keep going.
Yeah.
You don't quit on. I mean, you don't quit on that.
Yeah.
You know. So you know, for the husbands out there, right? Like you don't stop loving your wife just because like you had a rough day. I mean, my goodness. I mean, come on. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't stop loving Christ just because you feel like you didn't do it right that day.
Yeah.
I mean, man. So that's just kind of like, I know that was like a long-winded answer, but
No, that's
I
good.
mean, that's just really what where I've been, the kind of pocket I've been in like lately is just like, all right, like this is, I mean, that's practical, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And before you go, Just, it's kind of like, if you think about David and all the things that he did do, God still said he was a man after his own heart. Like, David did some really grimy things, and still, yet, like, he pursued God. Like, he didn't stop. Like, that's the one thing that I think, and thank you, Holy Spirit, the one thing the devil wants us to do is to think our sin is so bad that God, one, won't forgive us, and two, God doesn't want us to pursue him anymore. Yeah. And that's when we fail, is when we stop. We don't fail when we misstep or when we don't fall in line. It's gonna happen. Sometimes we're gonna miss the mark. But if we stop shooting at the mark, if we stop running for that finish line, when we quit and we give up and we say, all right, this race that I'm trying to take is null and void anymore, that's when we fail.
Yeah.
You can't, failure does not, like, not accomplishing does not equate to failure. Because at some point in some time, you're going to get it. Because
It's inevitable.
Yeah. Because you're going to, like, we've already won. We've already succeeded because we gave our life to Christ.
Yeah.
And all the stuff on earth, it's going to go away.
Yeah.
So our ultimate goal is to just get to the point of where we're in heaven singing praises forever and ever. So, but just go ahead.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I guess with me, because what y'all say, because I like to tell you all the time. Well, I tell a lot of people who I talk to, but we're like a mirror, so we can't see ourselves. You got other people who see us and they know who we are. A lot of times we don't know who we are, how we acting. We just being us, right? So you can't, like I told you before, like or I think I was telling Sophia. You telling somebody saying they're the greatest of all time, like according to who? Like who's the greatest? Why are you telling yourself, or why are you telling everybody you're the greatest of all time?
Right.
Like who? No, we are supposed to be measuring you. You can't measure yourself, right? Like Jesus said, trees known by its fruit. So you don't have to say what kind of tree you are. The people who see you know what kind of tree you are. You know what I mean? So really, you know, how y'all been talking about like my consistency because of how I think is like, this is where the Lord put me at, right? He put me in where I'm at in Faith Landmarks, and I'm just doing the same thing I've been doing. Like, I've been in the youth for, you know, since I've been there. You know what I mean? And I've just been doing what I've been doing. Like, so really, he's really showing me that I've been doing what I've been doing because my mindset is, I told you to go to Faith Landmarks, right? So that's just what I've been doing. But me knowing that sometimes he'll have you pivot and do something else, like we're doing a podcast, and me actually doing the podcast, that's something that really came from him. Like, it didn't come from me because I was just doing, you know, I'm at Faith Landmarks. I'm doing what I'm doing there. And so me understanding, like, sometimes you have to pivot. Sometimes, you know, you have to look within yourself. Okay, well, what is your calling? What are you supposed to do? And you really internalizing not just what, but why. Like, you ask the question, why, right? A lot of people don't ask the question why because they don't want to. Well, maybe it is me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it is something I'm doing. And so you're not looking at yourself. You're not looking at, well, what can I change? Because if you feel like you have arrived, then that's where you messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so him like showing me like, yeah, you haven't arrived. Like, I'm only 43. Like, there's so much more to life than doing the same thing. You have to continue to grow. You have to continue to, because I'm so good at following. Like, if y'all know me, like, I come in, I'm quiet, I do what I do, and I'm like, I don't want to say I don't care what everybody else is doing, but I'm not one of the person like, oh my gosh, he's doing this. Oh my God, I need to do this. Like, no, I don't. I'm fine in whatever I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Enjoy your space.
Yes, I definitely enjoy my space, and I'm fine in doing what I'm doing. So he's working on me with, like, you're fine in doing what you're doing, but I want you to do something different than what you're doing. And so me understanding that a relationship is not just him telling me one thing, you know how, but well, God told me to do this. And some people will do the same thing. Like, I can go to the block and see the same people doing the same thing, like, since I left. It's like, no, you gotta grow. Like, at some point, like, you have to move out of the space that you're in. Like, you know what I mean? And so as a Christian, like, we should always be growing. And I feel like now is the time that the Lord is telling me, like, I really have to internalize, like, because as freely you have received, freely give. Like, I can't say I've been freely giving. You know what I mean? Because of a lot of the things that I know, like, I can't, like, and it's not, I'm such an introvert. Like, I don't want to go out. I don't want to do more than what I'm doing. And so really internalizing, like, well, why? Right. You know what I mean? And I have to look at myself because I'm comfortable. And sometimes being comfortable is not the best thing. Like, sometimes you have to like grow. Like, you can't continue to just be stagnant. You know what I mean? Like, and this is just a time where I just feel like he's telling me, like, yeah, it's time to stretch. Like, you can't. And I've been feeling that, like, spiritually, physically, like, oh wow, like, yeah, this is different. You know what I mean? This don't hit the same. You know what I'm saying? So really, just that's what he showed me. Like, yeah, it's just time to grow. And I don't know what's around the corner. I can't tell you like what's ahead of me, but I just know, like, yeah, it's stretching time. Like, it's time to grow. So it's gonna look different. You know what I mean? And just me understanding that just because somebody is doing something different doesn't mean that, well, why are you doing something different? Like, I used to think when somebody was doing something different like that can't be God. He didn't tell me to do anything different. Good. You know what I mean? Like, and so my first thing would be to judge. Like, I can't be God because what you doing that? Like, nah, you can't be doing that. And so, like, that's what, like, I had to look at myself. Well, if I think like that, that means that I can never grow or do anything else because, like, nah, God has told you to do this and that's it. Right. It's like, nah, that's not how a relationship works. Like, he told you to do this today. Tomorrow he's going to tell you to do something else. Right. The next day he's going to tell you to do something else, and it's okay. You know what I mean? And I have to accept when somebody else grows. I have to accept when somebody else does something different, like
that's good,
because that's their relationship with God. That they're a servant to God. They're not a servant to me. So I can't judge what somebody else does, which means I can't judge what I do different. If God tells me to do something different, then God tells me to do something different. I have to obey. I have to be obedient. And I used to worry about what everybody else thought, and I never like moved forward because of like, man, they don't think. They're gonna think something different of me. You know what I mean? So because I think something different of somebody else.
Right.
So I really was judging myself in that aspect. And so I had to learn, like, wait, like I can't live my life by what somebody else thinks. Nobody can live their life, and I feel that that's, a lot of people are stagnant because of they're worried about what somebody else thinks, how somebody else views them. And so I had to learn like no, like I have a relationship with God, and I got to do what God is telling me to do, no matter what. And that's what is helping me stretch. And it is a stretching, you know what I mean? It's a big stretch.
So yeah,
Sorry to be so long-winded.
bro, it's your podcast.
Yeah. No, definitely not my podcast. This is yours, brother. You asked me to do this.
We had talked about it.
No.
No.
I was doing the
It's
podcast
the Lord's.
with Sophia.
It's the
You
Lord's.
said, bro, can we do a podcast?
I'm just a guest.
Yeah.
It don't belong to me at all. I'm just here because they asked.
Bro, shut up.
Just a guest.
This is the Lord's podcast.
The Lord's podcast. This is the Lord's
But-
doing, and it's marvelous. And
This is dope. We definitely what did you just say?
I said good conversation.
Oh yeah, it was good chops.
Yeah, good.
We good?
Well, you know what we got to do? You know, why you gonna say no? Why you don't just be like what, bro? What? Why you gotta say nah?
Because I love how the two people who claim to be these extreme introverts always got these big ideas.
So
What big idea do I have?
look, you know, it'd be a great. All right, so remember the conversation we had? Like you had the topics, right? We was on the trip,
oh yeah.
bro. That joint would be so dope, bro.
What, they just had them topics?
had a top like had them all them
Oh,
people
them all
come
them
in?
people?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Bro, that would be different.
Like
bro.
a
that-
round
nah.
table?
Yeah, bro, like that. Nah, that would be
So before we end, I want to, if y'all mind, I want to share something real quick. I think this is good. A good way to end this. So for all you out there, you know, we always emphasize Bible reading. And so I'm going to give you a verse I think is like a perfect way to tie this. It's Psalm 27 and verse 8 and 9. Okay? And it says in verse 8, it says, when you said, and this is David talking to the Lord. He said, when you said, seek my face, my heart said unto you, your face, Lord, will I seek. And in verse 9, it says, hide not your face far from me. Put not your servant away in anger. You have been my help. Leave me not, nor forsake me, O God of my salvation. And I've been thinking about that verse a lot because for a couple of reasons. And I'm not going to share, you know, all my thoughts. I'll leave it as something for all of us to just kind of like ponder. Is this really profound statement David makes about how God said to David, seek my face. But the thing that really intrigues me is when David said, my heart said, your face, Lord, will I seek. So like, if you just think for a second, I really want you to like dig a little deeper in yourself and figure out how much or what are your desires driving you to seek after? What are the things that you treasure most, causing for you to go after the hardest? What are they making you hungry for? Like when you get up in the morning, what is there as the first, you know, desired thing that comes to your mind? You know, we sat there and Olin mentioned about how David, you know, he had all of, you know, plenty of negative experiences, choices, decisions, etc. But here he is in the scriptures, just another moment where he is describing the condition and posture of his heart, which lets me know that God was a treasure to David. David's heart really, like inwardly, he loved God and he was hungry for more of him. So I really want, if I can encourage anybody, you know, including myself, to really evaluate what are the things we desire and we treasure the most, causing for us to go after the hardest and seek for the most. And if it's not him, if it's not the Lord, what can we do to change that so that our hearts respond to that invitation that God has so openly given us? Because that invitation was not limited to David. That invitation to seek after him and meet him in this intentional way is still available for us today.
For everybody, yeah.
So what do we need to adjust in our value system that's going to direct us more to our pursuit of Christ versus other things? That's kind of what I just want to leave as my cliffhanger.
And before we do our songs, I want to leave off with this too. Matthew 6:19-21. Don't store up your treasures here on earth where moth eats them and rust destroys them, where thieves break in and steal. Store your treasures in heaven where moth and rust cannot destroy, and thieves do not break in and steal. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will be also. So basically piggybacking off what you said, like wherever our focus is, that's where it's gonna be.
Yeah.
That's where our heart's gonna be. And if we're not focused on the kingdom, we're focused on something else, then that's where our heart is, and that's where we're gonna end up being. But we appreciate you for coming.
Yeah, bro.
This was long awaited. It's been a vibe. Like, we're gonna have to get you back on again for sure. But no, it's like we said last week, this time period is very busy for all of us. So for you to take your time out your day and make it happen for us to get you here, we really appreciate it. So for that, you got to give your song first. So
my song first. All right, my song selection for you all. It's not a rap song. It's not hip hop. It's none of that. It is a worship song that is titled "Fear Not, Never Stop Praying" by One House. It's a real good song. I think it is going to encourage you to don't worry about things. God's got your back, but just don't change your posture though. Stay positioned under Him, and He got you all squared away. Yeah.
Justin.
I don't know, bro. My phone over there, I'm using it to record, so.
Brother, you ain't never prepared. It's all right. So for mine, I got Heavenly Poetry 8 by Don Reddy. It's a rap song, but it's like, it's poetry. Like, he's just praying out, talking to God, and pouring his heart out. So I think that's kind of good. A little vibe for the day. Mm-hmm. We love y'all. Yeah. We appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, and post notifications. We throw up our hearts to you. Yeah. We appreciate y'all.
Also, before we leave this podcast, I want to set the record straight. Olin was a troublemaker.
I didn't say I wasn't a troublemaker.
Olin was a troublemaker. He starts stuff and he got people in situations. So although I may have cried, although I may have shed tears, Olin is the reason we were in trouble.
No. Olin was the reason.
And Justin,
not always me.
Justin always has something to say. You can't do anything without him having something to say. Now, on that note,
man, we throw our hearts out to you. I ain't finna argue with you. It's all right.
I definitely ain't gonna argue, but I'm gonna argue because.
See,
here we go.
See, you prove my point.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. I was trying to stay out of it, right? I just said they both cried.
I didn't cry.
Olin was the one who brought up Spencer. After I said Olin was a crier.
I was not a crier.
But Spencer? No, he was the main crier. I'm not gonna lie. Spencer, he was the main crier. Yeah, definitely was the main crier.
I mean, on a chin.
I mean, he cried over the dumbest things. I'm like, why are you crying? Like, why are you crying? Like, no, and it wasn't just like the cry. Like, no, he was literally like, yeah, but yeah.
Woe is me.
Why is me? Like, why are y'all always bothering me? Like, it was always somebody else's fault. That was his fault. Never.
He's waiting for that for a long time. I feel like.
It's all right. Next time I come on here, I will get some. I got something for y'all. So y'all just stay tuned.
Oh no, I really want the biggest troublemaker in the group.
Nah, he was. He was the biggest troublemaker.
I was.
Olin so nonchalant, right? This is chill O.
Never did anything wrong.
Right.
Man, can we finish? Like, just put our hearts out to them real quick. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We thank Spencer for coming.
I don't know how to do it. I ain't know how to do it at first either.
Peace.
Life, we live in life more abundantly. Life more abundantly. Life more abundantly. Grace is overflowing. Grace is overflowing. Grace is overflowing. Grace is overflowing. And if you want it, then come and get it. It's a free gift. And then you'll be living life more abundantly. Life more abundantly. Life more abundantly. Life more abundantly.